Hello, welcome to the Q, Operation Ultra. It is the British Commonwealth and what's left of the Free French Turn 1. And this is an interesting look we got going here. We have Canada, Britain, South Africa, FEC, ANZAC. And Free French doesn't get any money. Their money goes into the British Bank, so they started the game. Their production started the game at 33, so they're up to 36. They were up to 39, but Japan took 3 away. Now, the only thing different on the setup here is the FEC starts with 16, not their production value of 23, and Britain starts with 35 instead of its 32 or 33 production. So they get an extra $2. So here's our purchases. Canada's going to blow all 10 of its for an infantry and a transport. 35 for Britain will be 4 infantry, 1 minor factory, and the units across the bottom here I get to place at various Commonwealth factories as a sort of a national. It's not really a bonus, but one of the perks that Britain has is, building at some of the Commonwealth factories. South Africa, $3, 1 infantry. FEC has 16, so that's 1 artillery, 4 infantry. ANZAC will save $1 and 3 infantry, and out of their $10. So that is the purchase. Let's look at combat. There is 2 combats, and I'm going to have to go on that side of the board because this is a 4x8 map and I cannot reach across it. So coming over here, we'll have an interesting look at the well, I got the camera shadow there. Oh well. The combat for submarines in this game. You'll have seen the submarines wipe out the British Navy in the German video. Only 1 destroyer was present, so all those got to get their surprise attacks. Here's the reverse side of the submarines when they're defending. They lose the surprise attack feature, so they're going to defend at much less than they attack at. So that's the good news. I have 2 destroyers from C-Zone 24 that will come into 23. Now, they each detect 2 subs, and the attacker gets to detect which subs. So we're going to detect the 4, and I'm going to put them down here, the 4 of the regular submarines, and Triple Crown has elected to submerge these 2 regular subs and the 1 coastal sub. I have a submarine that's not going to take place in this battle, so I'm going to pull it out. I think we're just going to move it over 1 into 27 so that it doesn't get into combat. And, or am I? Let's see. You know what? Let's go down 2 to C-Zone 32. That'll be good for us, just so it's not in the combat. These are submerged. I really don't need to put a submerged marker there because no other ships are coming in and out. If I had some transports or something coming into that C-Zone, then I would put a submerged marker, but they're not in the battle. All right, so in the battle will be planes from London, will be a Swordfish tactical bomber, 2 Spitfighters. From Liverpool will be a Spitfire and a regular fighter. And from Scotland, 1, 2, will be another regular fighter. All right, so that is the extent of the sub battle. All this against those 4 subs. We have these 2 medium bombers, 1, 2, 3, and they'll be able to return with one movement left. They're going to bomb that Paris factory while it's not being guarded by a bunch of fighters. And maybe they won't be, but we're going to bomb it anyway. All right, so let me look. I'm pretty sure those defend at 2. I better check that real quick. I'll set this down. I think they attack at 4 and defend at 2. Hang on a second. I hate to blow one of my first battles here. So looking at Germany, regular subs. Where are they? There they are. All right, yes, they defend at 2. So that's the good news. But we're not going to start with that battle. We're going to start with the bombing of the Paris factory, because every war should start off with Hambone losing a bomber to anti-aircraft. So we're going to try and avoid that. So each medium bomber gets a D6, and that means there'll be 2 anti-aircraft fires back. Since they're both the same bombers, they came from the same place, I'm going to roll it all together. Won't matter. So the anti-aircraft is at 2 for a hit, and then the damage is whatever the D6 is. So let's see what we get. All right, so no shoot down, so that's really all I care about, and 9 damage. Now the factory, I think, can take 10 damage. I should have slid my things over here. So here's 9. So we did 6 and 3, so that is 9 damage on that French factory. All right, so this game is started off rough on the German turn. We got some payback on the surrendering French, and now we're going to get some payback on, well, some of the subs, not all of them. All right, so this swordfish will be attacking at a 3, the 2 destroyers at 4, the 2 regular fighters at 6, and the 3 Spitfire fighters at 7. So hopefully we can knock this out in one round. So let's roll the tactical swordfish at 3. Oh, it misses. 2 destroyers at 4. That's 2 hits. That's good news. 2 fighters at 6. Oh my, we wiped them out before getting to the sweet spot, which is the 3 Spitfires. So we would have gotten, I guess we could roll that over, 6. So we would have gotten 6 hits on the first round, but they only have 4, so let's roll 4 back at a defense of 2. And no 2s. All right, so good news. We've gotten some vengeance on some of those subs. So 4 subs bites the dust. I'll just chuck them. You know what? I'll put them in the box here, the dice tray. All right, because all this will go over to the other table here in a second. All right, so 3 subs survived. 2 regular subs, 1 coastal sub. I got 2 destroyers in that sea zone, so they have submerged. The tactical, 2 Spitfires, 2 Spitfighters. Actually, all 3 Spitfires will land in London. The 2 regular fighters will land in Liverpool, and then the 2 bombers come back to London. All right, so that is what that looks like. He'll stay in Scotland. We're going to leave our guys here as they are. Canada, we are going to rail this artillery. There is a rail in Canada. They get a rail movement of 1 unit, and it can go along the territories that border the USA. So he's going to rail. I think we'll just step 1 infantry down into Ottawa just for grins. He's going to rail over here to, what is that? British Columbia. And while we're here, we're going to take this Canadian transport. There is a major naval base, so it will go 1, 2 into 122, and then we're going to come all the way across and come into this sea zone here, P50. All right, just to get it out of harm's way. What other non-coms do we have here? We've got 2 destroyers in 57. They will come up 1, 2. Thanks for the Free French naval base. We'll use that next turn. And we have this luxury liner here in 57. 1, 2. Got a naval base there. That'll be good. All right, so the big fleet here is a combined fleet with the British and the French. We're going to send 2 destroyers from 35. 1, 2, 3. All right, into 31, along with nothing else. This law will just stay there. I don't think that French transport will go. I think it'll just stay there. I mean, what else can I do? Or I could send it. What to do? What to do? All right, let's send the destroyer, or the French heavy cruiser. Well, I guess it's just a cruiser and a destroyer. How about that French destroyer as well? Let's just make it a party there in Sea Zone 31. All right. That's what we got there. Down here, we've got 1 South African infantry moving up into Rhodesia. Those guys are staying put. How about the Anzac infantry as well into Rhodesia? All right, so in the Cairo section, well, we got a glare there from that light in the corner. So let's do, we're going to take both Swordfish and the tactical bomber off the carrier and go into Cairo. The fleet will move from 47 to 64. And that is 2 destroyers, 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 1 transport. And the transport will grab one of these guys from Anglo-Sudan. Actually, both of them. We don't really care. It's not worth anything. So they'll pick that up, put these 2 infantry in Cairo. We've got a infantry here in Upper Egypt. He'll slide into Cairo. And then from Alexandria, the infantry will slide over to Upper Egypt. That is the looking of Cairo. Let's see, what else we got over here? So over here, we've got this fleet in 66, which is a destroyer, cruiser, battleship. They will come over here to 64 as well. The light carrier with the, what is that? Swordfish tactical bomber will come over as well. The fighter from Calcutta is at an air base. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just lands on that carrier. No big deal. That fleet carrier, which is empty. All right, so what do we got moving over here in the wonderful land of the FEC? We've got an armor from Calcutta. It'll come out 1, 2 to Bombay. The artillery will come down 1 to Madras from Calcutta. From West Bengal, the infantry will move into Calcutta. From Bangladesh, infantry will move into Calcutta. The destroyer and transport in 68 is at a major naval base, but it's going to go 1, 2. So it's only going 2 into Sea Zone 66. Last but not least for the FEC is this destroyer and transport in P91 is feeling a little nervous. So he'll come down 1, 2. The transport, the destroyer will move 3 into 69. The transport is in 70. It grabs the infantry from Burma. It activates Sumatra in the FEC's favor. So we're going to add 4 to the FEC total here. So they're going to go up to 27. And the reason that is Germany attacked Holland. So all these are now pro allies. So as we go down the board, New Guinea, the infantry will step over the Anzac infantry. So claim that for Anzac. We have a transport grabbing 2 infantry in 99. 1, 2, 3. And we'll grab the Dutch East Indies. And that is 2, 3. So Anzac will go up 3. And I think they were at 10, so they're at 13 now. All right, so that is that. We are going to move our sub here from 89 to 76. Our destroyer will go back to the port. So from 89 to 99, I've got 2 more subs that are going to come. One's going to come from 99 to 89, and the next one is going to come from 99 up to 96. And these will be Anzac ships, but I'm going to keep them that Dutch color, see how they play out in the war. But I can't move them until next turn. I think that is it. That's an infantry, but we're building infantry there. All right, so that is it. A pretty quick turn. So let's go about placing our units. So first will be 4 infantry. It's going to go way up there in London because that seems like the right thing to do. Actually, we'll place 3 of them there, and I'll move 1 of the infantry that was in London over to Liverpool. So that'll be 3, 6, 7 infantry there total. All right. Cairo gets the minor factory. And then I'm going to sprinkle these. 1 artillery goes in South Africa. And I've marked the factories that British can place 1 unit at with a symbol as well. We're going to place here in Calcutta 1 infantry. And the last artillery goes here into Sydney. Yeah, I think that was how we were doing that. All right. Okay, so Canada, we've got 1 infantry, 1 transport. Since those 3 subs are there, we're not going to build the transport here. We will build the infantry there in Ottawa, and the transport will be built off this factory here in British Columbia, and that'll be good. Since we're not at war with Japan, it is safe for the moment. All right, next up, South Africa. Infantry. FEC, 4 infantry and an artillery. So one of the new things in Ultra or Global War 39 is these military bases. They produce 1 infantry each at $3. I have a miner that can produce 3, so that will be the artillery and 2 infantry. And in the factory or military base in West Bengal and Madras will each place an infantry. Next turn we'll be able to build there as well because we'll have enough money. Last but not least is the Anzacs, and they have 3 infantry, and they all go with this miner here in Sydney. All right, so that is that. Let's look at some cash. So Canada has no change. British Free France, they are at 36. So what is that? That's 35. So there's 36. South Africa, no change. They now get to go to their full production, which is 27. So I should have brought a 20, but I didn't. So there's 10, 20, 25, 27. And this is all their regular income. There's going to be some bonus income too. Anzac is up to 13. So they're going to get $3 more. Plus, they saved 1. So they're at $14 of regular income. All right, now let's look at the national objectives. And the reason I built the Canadian, well, I probably would have built a destroyer, but I built a Canadian transport, so that gets us to 8 transports between Britain, Commonwealth, France, Free France, which we now have exactly 8. So that'll be an extra 5 for Britain. We don't have either one of those 2. Yep, we don't. Also, Canada gets 2. South Africa gets 1. And the FEC, I believe they don't get theirs till they're at war with Japan, so they get nothing. All right, so that was 5 extra for Britain, 2 extra for Canada, and 1 extra for South Africa, but I don't have another 1, so I'm going to have to think of that as cash. All right, so the net result is Canada 12, or was that 13? Let me look real quick. Canada's 2. All right, so Canada 12, Britain now has 35, 41, 4 for South Africa, 27 for FEC, and 14 for ANZAC. That'll be the next turn. Now I'll do a disposition of forces. No need for anyone to hang around if they don't need to see this. We do have a transport in C-Zone 50. Canada's 3 infantry in Ottawa, 1 in Quebec. C-Zone 31, French cruiser, French destroyer, French transport. 2 British destroyers. C-Zone 32 is a sub. C-Zone 35, a French sub, British sub. 2 destroyers in 53. In 23, C-Zone 23 is 2 destroyers, Scotland infantry, Liverpool anti-aircraft gun, 3 infantry, 2 regular fighters, London 2 medium bombers, 7 infantry, 1 motorized, no, it's mechanized, 1 anti-aircraft gun, 3 Spitfires, and 1 Swordfish tactical bomber. Gibraltar and infantry, Upper Egypt and infantry, Transjordan and infantry, Syria and infantry, and Cairo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry, 1 armor, 1 fighter, 1 tactical bomber, 1 Swordfish tactical bomber. C-Zone 64, fighter, Swordfish tactical bomber, light carrier, regular carrier, transport, 3 destroyers, 2 cruisers, 2 battleships. South Africa is anti-aircraft gun, 3 infantry, 1 artillery. Rhodesia, 2 infantry. C-Zone 66, destroyer transport. Bombay armor, Madras, 2 infantry, artillery. West Bengal infantry, Calcutta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 infantry and artillery. 69, C-Zone 69 destroyer, C-Zone 70 a transport. Sumatra, 1 FEC infantry, and the Dutch are infantry, but they cannot be moved. So basically colonial infantry that can't, so they defend like regular infantry, but they just can't attack or move out of there. So Singapore, 2 infantry, Hong Kong and infantry, Dutch East Indies, 2 infantry, C-Zone 76 transport sub, C-Zone 89 sub, C-Zone 88, these will be ours to move next turn, which is a destroyer, cruiser, and a coastal sub. Dutch New Guinea, 1 regular infantry, 1 static colonial infantry. Sub in 96, destroyer, cruiser in 99, infantry New Zealand, Sydney, 4 infantry, 1 AA, 2 artillery, and that is not almost it. C-Zone 137 is a transport, and British Columbia is an infantry and a artillery. So that's it. Up next on the list will be KMT USA. look for that from Captain G and Eggman. All right, I'm going to make one quick non-com adjustment. I didn't plug my microphone into it, so probably sounds different than the original video, but these ships here in C-Zone 31, which is 2 British destroyers, French destroyer, French cruiser, and transport, instead of going to 31, they were at this naval base, 1, 2, 3. They'll come over here to 30, as I forgot that these subs were still alive. No need for give the Germans something to suicide attack on. So from 31 to 30, that fleet. Thank you very much.